알려드리면 아미들이 우리를 약간 포켓몬고 하는 것 마냥 찾을 수 있어.
아, 근데 이건 있어. 아는 척 금지.
그 대신 옆에서 같이 뛰는 거 가능.
같이 뛰는 건 가능. 근데 대신에
뭐 말
막
걸기 금지.
말 걸기 금지. 서로 그냥 러닝에만 집중합시다, 우리.
어,
뛰고 있어도 서로 진짜 러닝에만.
딱.
음.
일단 이렇게만 해줘.
이것만
뛰면서
그냥
딱.
암인지 아닌지만 그것만 알 수 있게.
그래서
이런 거 하지 말. 이런 거 하지 말지. 말기.
뛰면서
Are you ready to receive the craziest news from the K-pop world today? Who would have thought, in the midst of a busy schedule, two global superstars BTS, Kim Taehyung aka V and Jungkook, actually made a surprise announcement that made the army around the world unable to sleep? How could two idols of their class casually say that tomorrow night they will run on the Han River at 8 p.m.? And what is even more surprising, it is not only their running that is the topic, but a series of strange, controversial, and even funny rules that they are aimed specifically at the army. The question is, what is the meaning behind all this? No one expected that Taehyung and Jungkook would make the Han River, one of Seoul's most famous icons, their impromptu stage. But is this just a regular evening sport or a hidden message for fans? Army on social media immediately boiled over when the two announced a list of rules that sounded more like a challenge. No talking, they said. Why is it banned? Do they want to keep the focus? Or is this some kind of test for the army to show loyalty without words? Even crazier, the next rule made the atmosphere even hotter. Slightly hint at your army. What does that mean? Is this code for just secret signaling, not direct interaction? Doesn't that just add to the curiosity? Another big question came when Jungkook added a rule that made the public burst out laughing as well as astonished. No overtaking, hurt their self-esteem. Do two of the world's biggest idols seriously feel like their self-esteem could fall just because they were overtaken while running? Or is this just a joke deliberately thrown to trigger an army reaction? But behind the joke, there is an emotional atmosphere that is difficult to explain. Is this their way of asserting that they want to remain considered mere mortals, not just world stars? Or is it just a hidden strategy to create unforgettable moments? Korean and international media immediately highlighted this phenomenon. Why not? It is not every day that two global stars announce that they are going to run in a public place that is always crowded with visitors. Even more surprising, they added another rule that is increasingly bizarre and at the same time provokes controversy. Can't say, that's all you can do? Is this their true form of vulnerability? Or just a subtle allusion to haters who often underestimate their abilities? The public is divided. Some see this rule as a smart strategy to keep boundaries with fans, while others see it as a form of high ego. Which one is true? The excitement hasn't stopped there. One of the most absurd but intriguing rules is it is forbidden to photograph those who drool. Seriously? Are Taehyung and Jungkook coding that the run will be so hard that it will make them tired? Or is this just a very human honest admission that although they are superstars, they can also appear imperfect? Army on Twitter immediately flooded the timeline with tweets. I would love to see Jungkook drool, and Taehyung drooling IS still looks expensive. This reaction proves that while the rules sound silly, that's exactly where the appeal lies. But doesn't this also raise the question, are these two idols playing with the boundaries between idols and mere mortals? Then there is the last rule that leaves everyone speechless. Can't think they're walking because they're tired. Is this a warning that they don't want to look fragile in public? Or is it the silent recognition that they are indeed human beings who can be exhausted? Many fans were touched by this rule because behind the laughter and jokes, a real emotional side is stored. Jungkook and Taehyung are not robots that can keep performing perfectly. They also have limits, they can also get tired, and they want the army to respect that. But again, why should all this be made public, with the details of the rules inviting controversy? This phenomenon is definitely more than just a night run on the Han River. Is this a form of secret communication between the two idols and the army, who have longed for direct interaction? Is this an unofficial fan meeting in a very unusual way? Or is it precisely a social experiment of two stars who have lived too long under the spotlight of the world? No one knows for sure, and that's what makes things even more heated. The entertainment media began to speculate. Could this be part of a hidden project? A content to be released later? Or is it just spontaneity that is deliberately allowed to go viral? The Han River is now said to be a sea of people tomorrow night. Imagine, thousands of ARMY might come just to catch a glimpse of Taehyung and Jungkook running. But how will they refrain from talking, not photographing, moreover, not overtaking? Isn't that rule almost impossible to follow? Was this a deliberate challenge to test ARMY loyalty? Or is it precisely the trap of controversy that will create international news? Obviously, everyone is now waiting with bated breath. Most observers think this is a smart move. In a simple way, just a night run, Taehyung and Jungkook managed to create an explosion of global attention. They combined humor, honesty, controversy, and the emotional side in one package. However, will they really show up tomorrow night? Or is this just a puzzle that was deliberately left hanging? If it was true that they came, would the ARMY be able to restrain their emotions and follow those impossible rules? And if they don't come, will this be the biggest disappointment of the year? Tomorrow night, the Han River will be a witness. Will this be recorded as the new history of the most unique interaction between idols and fans? Or will it end up as a huge controversy that divides public opinion? One thing is certain. The world is waiting, and the ARMY will never calm down until it sees with its own eyes. The last question that hangs: are you ready to see Jungkook and Taehyung running without being able to talk, without being able to take pictures, and without being able to overtake? Or are these rules just going to make things worse? The answer will only be revealed on the Han River at exactly 8 p.m. So, are you ready? And now, all eyes are on one point. The Han River at 8 p.m. Thousands of soldiers may have already prepared, some with pounding hearts, some with fear that this is just a joke. But isn't that exactly where the mystery lies? What if tomorrow really happened an unforgettable moment? Taehyung and Jungkook running under the city lights, watched by thousands of pairs of eyes holding their breath without a word. What if that strange rule turns out to be the key to creating a memory that will be remembered forever? Still, the most emotional question hangs in the air. Is this the way Taehyung and Jungkook want to test ARMY's love? Or is it the way they scream silently that they need space to stay human? Whatever the answer, one thing is certain. Tomorrow night, the Han River will no longer be the same. And if they do come,
오늘
imagine
유산소
how the
패스.
world would tremble
Okay,
to see
okay,
two of
패스.
Earth's biggest stars choose to run together, not on a grand stage, not at a concert of millions, but on the open streets, with a simple rule that could change everything. So, is the ARMY ready to hold back, or is it ready to break all those rules for the sake of one look from them? Tomorrow night, the secret will be revealed. And when all this happens, who can guarantee that the waters of the Han River will not be shaken by the tears, laughter, and hysteria of millions of hearts that can never stop loving them? The question now is this just a night run, or the beginning of one of the most emotional stories in BTS history?